Hey mamas, welcome back to Black Mamas Do Science. Today we will be doing an experiment that mixes some art with our science together, and we'll be making puffy paint with some home ingredients. So get ready. The ingredients you'll need for our puffy paint are self-rising flour. So here's a little pro tip. If you do not have self-rising flour, then you can substitute just regular flour that probably everybody has. I mean, I didn't have self-rising flour. I'm not a baker. So you can use regular flour with baking powder. So not baking soda. Those are two separate things. I found that out the hard way also. So baking powder and regular flour if you don't have self-rising flour. You will also need some water. Then you also need salt, and also one of my favorite things to include in my science experiments is food coloring. So moms, these are the tools that I use for our experiment. These are totally optional for you. You can use whatever you have on hand, whatever makes it easiest for you. But I use these small glass bowls to mix the paint up in, and I put them in separate bowls for Dax. Then I would say use paintbrushes, but I didn't have any paintbrushes, so you can use whatever you can find around the house and you decide you want to paint with. We use Q-tips and wooden sticks. So whatever you decide, go for it. I'm not gonna say you need paintbrushes. If you don't want to, if you can use your hands if you're okay with that. And then also a measuring cup to measure out your ingredients, just to make sure that you don't put too much of something else while you're mixing everything up. If you have a smaller kid, before you get ready to sit down with them, I would definitely recommend mixing the paint up beforehand. Older kids, let them sit down, get messy, measure stuff out, try it out, see how it works for them. But, you know, tiny babies, I mean, he's not a baby, but he's almost 2, and that is just a disaster for us. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix this beforehand for Dax. So what I did is I went ahead and I measured out about a tablespoon of flour. So my measuring cup, I obviously don't have small enough measuring, not cups, what are they called? I don't know, the measuring things. And so I just kind of guesstimated what would be a half of or 1 tablespoon versus 2 tablespoons that they have in there. And so I poured that 1 tablespoon into each of the bowls of self-rising flour. Then you will do the same thing with the salt. And then once you have the salt, you will add a teaspoon of water. And so that should allow you to mix all of your ingredients up, and then you can add your food coloring. They don't need to be done in any specific order. Just make sure that they're all mixed up really good, and that you don't have chunks of flour sitting around in your paint. And then once that's all mixed up, you are ready to go and paint. All right, mamas, so if you have tiny kids like I do, then go ahead and let them paint. Also, put something down on your floor just in case, but it is flour and water basically. So it should clean up very, very easily. It did for us. And then make sure you have something on your table in case it gets a little messy, I should say. I do also recommend that you have a sturdier piece of paper, so not just like a regular piece of paper, because we will be doing popping this into the microwave once we're done. So what you'll do is just let them go ahead, paint whatever they want to. Dax, you can see, obviously got a little bored with the painting and decided he wants to line everything up nicely and not let me paint. He's a little bossy, but yeah, just let them go ahead, go for it. Once that's done, you can get ready to head over to the microwave. And so you will put your painting masterpiece in the microwave for 30 seconds. And then after 30 seconds, pop it out. And then this is where you should see that your paint has risen a little bit. And so it won't look flat like how it did normally before you put it in the microwave. It will have, it will be risen up off the paper so you can touch it. Dax had fun. He was trying to peel it off later on afterwards. And so, yeah, that's what happens when you pop it into the microwave. Okay, mamas, we're gonna stop again right here. And if you know a mama, I know there's lots of friend circles and they're probably thinking like, oh man, summer's coming up. I need something to do with my kids. These are great to share with them. So make sure that you like and you share. And comment below and let us know how it's going for you. And if you tried it, how did it go? If it didn't go well, it's okay to admit that. I mean, y'all know how many times I try these experiments before we film them because I'm like, ooh, I do not want to look crazy on YouTube. But anyways, so it's no shame if it doesn't work out. Let us know. We'll figure it out together. So we'll get into the science of our puffy paint right now. Okay, mamas, this is the science behind our puffy paint. So when we added our self-rising flour and we mixed it with water, it ended up releasing carbon dioxide gas. And so when we also added the salt, the chemicals in that also helped the self-rising flour to release even more carbon dioxide. And so that ended up making kind of like a bubbling situation, if you notice that when mixing your paint. But then we added heat by putting it in the microwave, which caused the water and the flour to release small amounts of CO2. And they created even bigger bubbles. And so that's why I definitely recommended that you use a thick piece of paper that can withstand being in the microwave and also hold up the paint at the end of the day. And so the cool thing is, if there are any bakers out there, I don't know if y'all are, I'm not, so, but this is the exact same reaction that happens when we bake a cake. So if you've ever noticed, if you've been baking, when we put a cake in the oven, the heat mixed with the water and then the self-rising flour or the baking powder that you use releases carbon dioxide, and that ends up producing some bubbles, and the bubbles then try to rise and make their way to the surface of your cake or bread, making the mixture continue to rise and rise and rise until it can't anymore. And so that's the science behind our puffy paint and baking, if you like to do that. Okay, mamas. Well, I hope this experiment was easy and not only easy for you to do it, but easy for you to clean up, because that's also important about science experiments. Sometimes, you know, you don't want to do stuff because you don't want to clean it up, and that's also okay. And so I hope it was easy for you to do and clean up today. And Dax had so much fun. We had fun. He really enjoyed, honestly, his favorite part was closing the microwave over and over again. And so more than it was painting everywhere, I think it was the messy part of it he didn't enjoy so much. But anyways, we hope you had fun. Let us know in the comments how it went. Let us know if you baked something good. Maybe you can send me something or whatever. So we hope that you had fun. Let us know, and we will see you next time. Bye. No. Yeah. Look, let's show the people your science. Look. Look, Dex. Look. Woohoo! Woohoo! Yay! Good job, buddy. Huh. Wait.